Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome, everybody. I'm going to give everyone a moment to tune in. This is Body, Mind, Spirit with me. I'm Jane, and this is Promise Resource Network. If you don't know, you need to know. I want to give you some information real quick about Promise Resource Network. So first of all, we are one of the best nonprofits like in the whole entire universe. So there's that. We're a peer support ran organization. So that means that everybody that is a part of Promise Resource Network has had some lived experience with a whole lot of stuff. So no one's going to come at you from a place of I know better, but I have no idea. It's more like, oh no, this is my experience and I'm here to support your life. So if you have any questions about Promise Resource Network, about becoming a peer support or having a peer support person in your life, please call the front desk. The number 704-390-7709. I just put that on the screen. So you can take a screenshot, you can jot that down, whatever feels good to you. So there's that number. And I wonder if this is on here too. Yeah, check this out, y'all. So at the beginning of COVIDicus season, back in 2020, we created the warm line. So the warm line is a free number that you can call any time of day, any day of the week, and it's totally free. And it's a phone number to call to talk to somebody, to have a listening ear, basically. So the number for that is 833-390-7728. If you want to call that number to just to have someone listen to you and just be a neutral um, space, or if you want to like share some good news, even like if you have something really great to share, you can also call this number, because I don't know about y'all, but sometimes I've had like really good news and I'm like, I really can't share this with someone. Like they're not gonna, they may not celebrate it, maybe they don't care if I ate 3 meals today, but like for someone that's had some lived experience with disordered eating, that might be a really big thing and they might be able to actually celebrate with me. So that's the warm line number. Please use it, share it with anyone that you love. So let me get back to this little doodly hoo. That is officially a doodly hoo, in case you're wondering what a doodly hoo is. I want to say good morning. Mama Jane is in the house in Indiana, and they're calling for some snow, which I have been asking for snow days, and we're not getting them here in North Carolina. I want to say hey to Charles. How are you, my friend? So I'm here. I'll be live at the PRN Hub starting next week. I've taken some time away from being in public because I've had COVIDicus, and it's snowing now. Oh, it's an hour early. If you send some of that snow our way here in Charlotte, I would appreciate it. Just putting that out there. Um, but yeah, so since I've had COVIDicus, I've been just laying low, resting, and being by myself. And but next week I will be back at the hub uh, with an immune system that's extremely boosted, feeling really healthy. Still a little congested, but it's all up in my sinuses. So see, I can breathe. I can breathe just fine. I may randomly cough, but it's a thing. Been drinking a lot of ginger tea, which is good. So I'm curious if there's anything that you all were wanting to talk about in particular today, because the thing that kind of came up for me was inflammation, um, to talk about, and that may be like, yes, let's talk about inflammation, and it may be like, oh, I don't want to talk about inflammation. I want to talk about something else. So if there's something you want to talk about, like let me know. Like type it in, I'll see it, and then we can talk about it. We can change the subject at any time. It's going to be created in the moment. So hey, I like that. Um, so yeah. So while you think about if there's something on your heart, your mind, or your spirit, or weighing on your body that you want to talk about, type it in. And while you do that, let's just connect with some presence. So take a deep breath and let the breath go. This may seem silly, but I highly encourage you to do this with me. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Do another one. Just fill up your lungs. Let your belly expand. And just sigh it out. And let your shoulders relax. And keep blowing this breath out. Keep blowing it out. And hold it at the bottom. Just hold it. Hold that emptiness. Ah. Okay, now take a breath in. And just breathe regularly. That may have made you lightheaded. Don't get up and do jumping jacks right now. If you're driving, that may not have been the best idea. Probably could have warned you. Didn't expect that to come out. There's this thing about breathing that I just want to talk about that I find so fascinating. One of the moments in my life that I remember connecting with the feeling of source, of God, of the infinite, was when I was doing pranayama, when I was doing breath work. And it was like there was some breath of fire, which is a very rapid inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. I usually don't do that on here, and I'm not going to do it on this. I might do it for a yoga class because it's pranayama. But it's such a rapid breath work that it can lead to lightheadedness. It can, be a challenge. It can be re-triggering and re-traumatizing because it is so powerful of a breath. So anyway, but that's what I was doing. And there was a part of it that you do all this like breath of fire, just inhale, exhale super fast. And then you hold your breath at this like really big inhale, and like your lungs are just big and fat, and your belly's all popped out, and you're holding this huge breath of air in. And then you breathe it all out, just, and you exhale, exhale, exhale until you are just completely emptied out. And you hold that. And you do this for like as long as you can. It's very similar to the Wim Hof method. If you've ever studied breath work from Wim Hof, really cool dude. And his breathing is designed, his breathwork technique is designed to be able to go into extremely cold situations like an ice bath or one of those like fun things that I'm not that interested in doing. Maybe I am, maybe I will, who knows? Anyway, but all that to say, when I've been in breath work and I've gotten to the point where I've held that breath to where my lungs are either in that really full expanded state or, oh, look at that yawn. Been doing nothing but sleeping. I'm not tired. Or when I've held my breath on that exhale to where I have no breath and I'm like, there's no breath in me. And yet I could hold it for this really long time. The point of what I'm sharing is that these are the moments that I've been closest to God. Because in those moments, something that I found really fascinating was although I wasn't breathing, life was breathing through me. I could still feel like the echo of my breath flowing in and out of my nose, moving through my body, because it's not like when you take the big exhale that there's no more oxygen left in your body, like it's still in your blood. You know, we are porous creatures and we're made of more light and space. So like the oxygen is literally moving in this room and it's moving through me. And when I've been in these breath works, that's when I've been so close to the feeling of being with the oneness. And that has been so powerful. And going back to talking about inflammation, breath work can decrease inflammation in the body. And if you've ever read anything about any kind of dis-ease, it all is about inflammation. If I am living a stress-free life, if I am at peace, and I think I mentioned this on Expansions Tuesday, if you're in a peaceful place, you know, your body is relaxed. right? When we're able to rest. If my body is rest, I'm not inflamed. If I'm not inflamed, I'm not able to hold viral loads. Like I don't get sick. So breathing can decrease inflammation, therefore creating a body that is healthier. We don't get sick as much. Our mind is clear because I'm actually to be, or I'm actually oxygenating my blood and my brain. And when we do breath work, check this neuro goodness out. When we do breath work, so we have two hemispheres of the brain. I want to say good morning to Roberta. I'm so happy you're here. We have both hemispheres of the brain. And so often we aren't consciously breathing. So we get really dominant in one side of the brain or the other. It's usually the left side of the brain dominant, which is like, let me think of thoughts. Let me think of logic things. Let me create structure. I need to create solutions. 1 + 1 is 2. Like that's that half of our brain. So we'll get really focused on the left hemisphere of the brain. And when we do breath work, we can take both hemispheres of the brain and let them start to communicate and work together. When we do that, we create new neural pathways that go between this corpus callosum, the little middle part of the hemispheres that kind of hold it together. Not technically, but kind of. Good morning, Pamela. I'm happy you're joining us. So when we get both of these hemispheres of the brain to work together, the thoughts that I have go and they take up now the whole brain. Okay, so now I'm creating neural pathways that are still able to say 1 + 1 is 2. But then what I can do with that new information is I can think of creative ways to use that number 2. It's a more creative, fluid, agile thinking on the right side of our brain. So we want to have both sides of our brain talking with each other and working together. And breath work is one of the easiest, if you're willing to do it. And it's the most free tool that we all have access to. Isn't that nuts? That we have access to an abundant access to one specific tool that will legitimately change our entire lives. Take a breath in on that one and let it go. I recorded, it's not this week's, it was last week's yoga class. It's all breath work. There's no movement. It's all pranayama. And one of the breath work specifically works with both sides of the brain. So if you are interested in doing like a breath work practice, go to last week's yoga. It says yoga with Jane, pranayama. Prana means life force energy. It says pranayama, and just practice with me. And all you got to do is sit there. So all you got to do is sit there. Part of it is chanting because that's a different type of a breath work that aligns your energy channels in a different way. So anyway, I'm gonna get a sip of water. So how are y'all doing? That was just a lot of information. Like I posed the question, like, is there anything that you all have on your mind? If is there a breathing thing that you want to do together this morning? Do you care about breathing? Do you breathe? Here's a question: do you breathe? If you're a smoker, do you still take conscious breath, or do you only breathe consciously when you're smoking cigarettes? I used to be a smoker for a really long time, and that would be the only time that I would be intentionally breathing was when I lit the cigarette and took a puff. And now it's like I can't. In fact, check this. I used to do this. So I was friends with this girl, Amy, in like grade school and high school and all that. And we used to sneak and smoke cigarettes in my bedroom, which I'm sure it was not. I'm sure we were not that sneaky. Like, I'm sure we weren't, but we thought we were. Anyway, so we would smoke cigarettes. And I remember that we would we would sit there and smoke, and then we would take a tissue, like a Kleenex. And after we had smoked the cigarette, we would put the tissue over our mouth and just breathe out. And we would breathe out that breath that you're just like trying to get like from the depths of the lungs, like squishing all the air out. And we would do that and we would look at the tissue and it would be a brown spot. We would have already finished the cigarette, but there was still enough smoke deep in the lungs that we would then be breathing out. And we thought it was the weirdest thing, right? We that wasn't to our still being developed brains. That wasn't a clear enough message to say, don't do that. No, no, no. Just stop smoking. No, instead it was like, let's do it again. Let's smoke another cigarette. Okay, now the cigarette's done. Let's do it again. Whoa, look brown. We make like little smiley faces. Anyway, it was, to me, now that I look back, it was such a message that we hold old air in the bottom of our lungs because we don't take conscious breaths, because we don't breathe intentionally. I want to take a sip of this and read what Pamela said. I've been chugging this water, y'all. Pamela says, it's the new year, new everything, breathing through the present moment and getting things started and done. Goals, I guess. Awesome. Here's a question, Pamela. Like intentional breathing? Like, do you do breath work? Do you like set aside time? And this is a question for everyone, but you specifically said breathing through the present moment. Um, and it's so funny that you say breathing through the present moment. Um, because it's like we legitimately will never get through the present moment, will we? Like it's always here. We legit are like, it's only in the present moment. So like why not breathe through it? You know, if when women have babies, when women bodies or whatever, I know men can have babies or whatever, but you know what I mean when I use the gender here. Anyway, um, when women have babies, when people have babies, they're told to breathe. It's so that they can get through this like, whoa, now moment after now, moment after now, moment of, oh dear God, I'm birthing a human out of my very small hip space. Yes, a lot. I do a lot of meditations. Nice. Cool. um, I'm noticing that since having COVID, like um, I've been aware of my lungs and the quality of breath that I can take. And I know that it's still good. And I'm also like, I can tell that it's not as good as it was. And I'm excited for it to get like better. But I'm not stressing out about it, right? Because then that would cause inflammation and then I would start to breathe more shallow. Because that's another thing. Have you all noticed? It's like one comes with the other. If I am stressed out, I start to breathe more shallow. The more shallow breathing I have, the more stressed out my body becomes. Now, my body can't take a full breath, right? So now I'm creating the cycle of an inflamed, stressed out body because I am not breathing. And it goes back to, wait a minute, it's the one free tool I have. So take a deep breath. Let it go. And even doing that every now and again, right? Whenever we just remember to take a big deep breath, that's like taking a hit, like I remember in my experience of using all types of substances. Literally, it was always just a hit. I just needed that one hit, or that one multiple hits after multiple hits. But you know what I mean? Like, it would just be like, I just need that hit. And sometimes it would be like, I just need that hit of that TV show so I can be distracted. I just need that hit of sugar. I just need that hit of that pipe. I just need a hit of that bottle. Like, I just need a hit of that relationship and that reflection that I'm still loved. But it was just that hit that I was looking for. And it really took me down some gnarly paths, as opposed to me recognizing, and I'm grateful for this now, that that hit is literally taking a deep breath. So take a deep breath and let it go. I'm going to invite us to do this probably for the next, until the end of this time together, and just so that you can see how you feel by the end of it. So the invitation is just play along. Pamela says, I've realized that if I don't breathe through things, I become overwhelmed and stressed. Yes. Yes, what you say, I totally agree. And that one cigarette, though, right? I know, that one cigarette, just that one. Ugh. A few years ago, I tried a cigarette, and it had been many, many years since I had smoked. But I was like, all my friends were smoking, and I was like, you all are just so skinny. And I'm just gonna try it. Just gonna try it. And I did, and I did not like it. I was so happy that it tasted like shit. I was so happy it tasted like shit. Yes, so happy. Did not need to pick up that habit again. Not okay. Anyway, but yeah, when we don't breathe, we become overwhelmed. We legitimately will become overwhelmed when we're not breathing. And it's like chicken or the egg, what comes first? It doesn't matter. Just take a deep breath. Stop the cycle of the questioning, right? Like, I'm not even breathing deeply because I'm so stressed, and I'm so stressed, but I have a reason to be stressed because money is this, and I've got this going on, and I don't know, and my relationships, and no wonder I can't. And then, and have you noticed that even when you find someone to talk to that will listen, that sometimes you notice that you just don't breathe because you're complaining the whole time about why things are not fun. And when we take a deep breath, that gives people around us time to talk. Priorities and boundaries, self-awareness. I know, isn't it fun? It's like a little song. I swear we can make like healthcare, wellness, recovery. We could make this into like the most fun songs ever. Like priorities, boundaries, self-awareness. That's all you need to live. I don't say that I'm a rhyming singer, unless I'm rapping, and then I'm so rhyming. I only rap on Sundays though, so um, I haven't done it in a long time, but legitimately, I used to only rap on Sundays. It was weird. Anyway, um, but yeah, like this, we have the tools for extreme health right in us. It's in us. Remembering to just breathe. And when we do that, when we just pause to breathe and we focus on the breath, you know, we start to, because we're focusing on something else, our brain can actually only focus on one thing at a time. For any of you out there who think, but I can multitask, no, but I can focus on two things at once. So you actually technically can't. Our human brain cannot do that. What it does is it will toggle back and forth between two different things so fast. So it feels like you're focusing on two things at the same time. When in actuality, we are totally just lying to ourselves to get us through the day. But no, we cannot multitask. Isn't that fun? When I was reading those studies, when I was studying psychology, um, I was like, but I can do that. But I can. Nope, we can't. Um, yeah, it's all about us. um, but yeah, the being able to focus, like if I'm focused on all of the overwhelming thoughts, right? What do I need to do? How am I going to do it? how am I going to do it in a different way? Because last time I did it, I messed up. You know, like whatever these thoughts are that overwhelm us, if I focus on my breath, and it could be the focus of feeling it moving up and down, in and out of my nose, or in and out of my mouth, or in my nose and out my mouth, in my nose and out my mouth, or the feeling of the breath expanding my lungs and my belly, and then the way it all contracts, and the way it all expands, and the way it all contracts. If I am focusing on that, on the sensations of that, or focusing on breathing while focusing on the sensation of just being in my body. Because I know for some people, focusing on breath is very triggering and re traumatizing. And if all this is traumatizing and re triggering for you, please don't do it. And if it is, you can just breathe and just focus on the sensation of your skin, focus on the sensation of your bones, focus on the sensation of you sitting in a chair. And it does the same thing. But when we're focusing on that, all that to say is I can't think about the same at the same time all of the other things. And if I'm not thinking about all those things that are stressing me out, then I am decreasing inflammation. I am decreasing my stress responders. My blood pressure will start to stabilize. I become more well. Pamela says, I totally believe you can't multitask. There's a part of us like, thank you for the confirmation. She says our brain would shut down like a computer being overwhelmed. It's true. It really is true. It really, but for real, is. Like, our brains are so beautiful and so like plastic. Our brains can be changed all the time. We can create new neural pathways all the time. You can teach an old dog new tricks. Technically, we can. And we have limitations. The only time that we can, it's interesting. So, about my mama says, my mama, I never call you mama. I call you Mama Jane, but I never call you mama. Anyway, Mama Jane says, I've never been able to multitask. Right? I thought I have. Pamela says, have a plan, a wellness recovery action plan for our everyday lifestyles. Yes. WRAP, wellness recovery action plan. WRAP. Is that what Kristen teaches on the, that's a WRAP? Is that what the acronym is? Because if so, that's brilliant. Um, and it's true. Though, you know, like here at PRN, which I love this. I love that Promise Resource Network works with the 8 dimensions of wellness. Like, to me, that gives me focus, because there will be times when I've totally let the social dimension of wellness like go, and it's been all occupational and environmental. Like, that's, I'm focusing on that or whatever. So I really love the 8 dimensions of wellness, big time. And it's like the most basic tools for a wellness, for recovery, for health, for longevity, for a vibrant life. The tools are not in the 8 dimensions. And it's legitimately, literally breath. Because without it, you die. Right? Like, if we stop breathing, we die. Yes, it is. It's all in you. Like, we have all of it. We have breath. And it's like, when I have wanted to reach for whatever distraction, because I don't like to use, like, I don't want to use the word substance, because if I'm really honest with myself, it was more than substances. It was food, it was behaviors, it was television, it was uh, like obsessive compulsive working out and dieting, and focusing on nitpicking things on my body and my face, and so it wasn't all substances for me, although I was really good at substances too. But so I like to use the word distractions, because to me, distractions are what keeps us from me, from healing me, from recovering me, from reclaiming me, right? So it's all in us. This like recovering, like getting away from substances and distractions. It's like it always turns this focus back on us. And whenever I have gone to, after I've like kind of, cleaned up my act, if you will, um, although I'm still cleaning it, let's be honest, because I'm human. But anyway, like whenever I would go and reach for a distraction, if I stop, right? If I stop mid reach, even, I'm talking like I called the person that I'm like, I just need to have a relationship right now so that I can feel validated and loved. If I even call them and I'm like, okay, so you're coming over in 20 minutes, great, see you then. If I can even pick up that phone again, because phones look like this these days. um they do in my head anyway. But call them back and say, you know what, never mind, you can't come over, right? So anyway, if I can stop whatever that mid reach is, stop mid reach to the distraction and just breathe. Just take 10 slow, full breaths. 10. 10. That's it, just 10. I will have changed my entire nervous system. I'm not going to be as inclined to reach for the distraction. 10 breaths. That's it. Can we do it together? We got time. Um, yeah, Pamela says it's anything, I believe. It really is. We can, so many people are like, "Oh no, I'm healthy because my distractions are socially acceptable." And it's like you're how you're experiencing disordered eating and obsessive compulsive working out. Like that's not you're running away from something. Stop. Like the ocean example, it comes and goes, it will pass. Yes. Yes, so true. Let's do this breath together, y'all. If you need a sip of water, please take it. I do. So I'm gonna. Okay. So let's just do this. Let's just play with this, okay? So just take a scan of your body, just a quick one. Just feel how your body feels. Feel if you have any tense spots, any pains, any discomforts. Notice your heart rate. Just notice it. Is it beating really fast? Is it beating really slow? Just notice it. Notice the shoulders. Notice your jaws. Notice if your face is tense. Notice your scalp. Okay. So we're going to do 10 breaths. And my invitation is to do the inhales so that your belly is going to pop out on the inhale like a balloon. And then when you exhale, your belly is going to press in. Okay. It seems backward, but that's actually our natural way of breathing that we've just been taught out of. We've been taught how to not breathe. Can't make this up. Okay. So you've done the scan. Notice your thoughts. Notice if you have a slight headache. Notice if your thoughts are calm, if they're everywhere. Are you multitasking while you're listening to this? Whatevs. Okay. So just for this next couple of moments, either close your eyes or just focus on something like your hands, okay, or your lap or your feet, the floor, the earth, but focus on one thing and take a deep breath in. Let it go. Take a breath in. Let it go. Remind yourself there's nowhere else to be than where you are now. Take a breath in. Let it go. You're in the right place at the right time. Take a breath in. Exhale. You're in the right place at the right time. Take a breath in. Exhale. Right place, right time. Take a breath in. Breathe out. Take a breath in, big and full. Take a breath out, nice and slow. Take a breath in, big and full. Take a breath out, nice and slow. Take a breath in, big and full. Exhale, you're in the right place at the right time. Take another big, full breath in. And relax as you exhale. And while you're sitting in this moment, keep your eyes focused wherever they are and scan your body. Notice the places of ease. Notice the places that feel more relaxed. Notice your thoughts. Notice your heart rate. Just notice your body. And here's the thing. If you did that, you couldn't have been focusing on much else. Your brain may have gone into some other places, but it came back when I changed the direction of either the inhale or the exhale. When you do that, if you want to share any feedback about what you feel now in comparison, if you notice a difference or not, that'd be cool, because I like to share it. Um, but when we do that, we calm our entire body down. We increase our body's ability to fight off viruses. We increase and boost our immune system. We allow our emotional body to just relax for a minute. If our emotions have been all over the place, if they've been turbulent, it allows our emotional body to just chill out for a brief little bit. And then it has a ripple effect into the now moment. It allows our spirit to come back into unification with us. We are spirited beings. We are spirit, right? Spirit is like a base of the word inspiration. Inspiration is to breathe in life. So we allow our spirit to reunify when we pause and take 10 deep breaths. So I'm curious if you have anything that you would like to share about how you feel or what you've noticed that after that breath. You don't have to share anything. Maybe you didn't do it. And then here's a question. If you didn't do it, and you don't have to type the answer here, just it's a question I'm posing. If you didn't do it, why not? Is it because you were too busy to breathe? Is it because you don't care? Is it because you thought someone would notice? Because here's the thing I notice whenever I do breathe big and stuff. Whoever I'm around does it too. It's kind of like when I used to drink a lot of alcohol. If someone drank, I would drink too. It's kind of the same. It's like yawning. Someone may just yawn now because I did. But it's that like kind of contagious thing. So if you choose to not breathe intentionally, are there reasons why not? Because you can and you can feel better if you do it. And why not? It's breath. right? Worst case scenario is that your skin glows more and your eyes see better and your brain has less fog and your heart rate is more stable and your immune system is stronger. I mean, worst case scenario, whatever. So, anyway, so keep breathing, y'all. Keep breathing into this new year. Maybe that could be the resolution, right? The word of the year for everybody is just breathe. Just breathe. Like no matter what, just go back to that. Breathe. Okay, I'll just breathe. Because whatever other intention you set for the new year, if you're not breathing, you're not going to attain it. I'm just saying. You want to lose 10 pounds and you're not breathing, you're not going to lose it. You're just going to die because you're not breathing. It's true. Anyway, so that was what I wanted to share today. So, like I said, next week I will be at the Promise Resource Network Hub. So, if you want to join in real life, I would love to have your company. I hope that the weather will be nice so we can be outside because that's always pleasant for me. I enjoy the fresh air. Um, so I'll be there. If it's something that you would like to join in real life, please do. We'll be at 2224 The Plaza. All that breathing, my body's like, yeah, I want more. Keep doing it. Anyway, it's true. Um, but yeah, we'll be able to connect in community and get some hugs and some real life smiles and good energy of the community. So please join if you can in real life. If you're in the Charlotte area, all are welcome. And if you can't join in, you can tune in here. And I appreciate you so much for being here and for chiming in and adding your perspective, your 2 cents. It adds so much to the experience for me, and I think for anyone else that even gets to watch this on the replay. So I love you all so much. Thank you so much for being here. I'll be on at 11:30 doing something creative. So no telling what that'll be. So I love you all so much. Actually, I know what I'll do. Okay, I just got excited for the creativity. I'll show you the painting that I got fixed and hung. I can't wait. Okay, I love you all so much. Please take care of yourselves and each other and keep breathing.